Welcome to Muscles and Malarkey, a podcast about all things strength, fitness, and fun. I'm your host, Mary. Today's episode is going to be a bit of a check-in with y'all. I also want to take this moment to say thank you to everyone who has been listening, commenting, sharing, following. I appreciate everything that y'all do. And I want to give an extra special shout out to my friends in Germany because I see y'all in Frankfurt am Main, Hesse. Please don't laugh too hard at me. But I see y'all there subscribing and downloading and listening consistently. So I just wanted to give a huge shout out, Danke, to my German friends. So thank you. I released an episode that was about injury management back in December when I flared my back up. After listening to that episode, I was able to answer some of the questions that I had asked myself, which were, can I still do this? Is this the wrong thing to do? XYZ. And the answer to that is, yes, you can still do this. And no, you're not doing the wrong thing. I want to tell you guys about my meet experience from June. I competed at King of the Cave 5 in Salisbury, Maryland at the Bear Cave. And I went into this meet with that background, with that context of I'm rehabbing, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting back into compound lifts again. I hit a 330-pound squat, which matches my platform best. It was also a Pennsylvania state record. I hit a 165-pound bench, which is not the best bench that I've ever done on the platform, but my goal for this meet was to at least hit that. And I hit a 375-pound deadlift, which was a platform PR and also resulted in a 0.5 kilogram total PR. Your total is your squat plus your bench plus your deadlift. So I managed to PR that by 0.5 kilos or about a pound. Which, hey, you take your wins where you can get them. I really want to highlight the people I surrounded myself with. And I have to give a shout out to my wonderful handlers, Megsy and Amethyst, and the best hype crew around who drove from Kentucky to come to support me. So shout out to you, April and Linz. I think having that energy there, plus the energy of the cave itself, it was just a recipe for a fantastic day. If you are looking for a meet to do, the cave is hosting a December meet. It is the second weekend of December, and it is called No Luck Needed. If you are interested in signing up for a winter meet, I highly recommend that meet. If you've never competed before, it is a great place to go and have your first meet experience. Or if you've competed for a while, it's a great place to go. The crew there is extremely safe. Travis and Jess run a very smooth meet. They also prioritize safety for the lifter. That is the most important thing. So shout out to the Bear Cave, Travis and Jess, and y'all's crew, Big C, aka Carl, Rob, Alex, anyone else that I'm forgetting. I'm so sorry. I felt so safe getting on that platform that day. And I knew whatever was on the bar, I was going to hit it, which I did. I went 9 for 9. Tee. Now that I'm in off season, I have taken a step back. I'm asking myself, what goals do I want to accomplish? So I decided that I am going to compete in December. I'm doing the Hoosier Hoedown in Indianaland, or Indianapolis, with my friend Danny. It's a little scary for me to put out my goals and what I want to hit out into like the universe because what happens if I don't hit it? Well, nothing. Nothing happens if I don't hit it. It's just another lesson, and it'll be another growing point. But I am moving with the intention that I am going to hit these goals. Make a mental note of this, because this is going to happen in December. I am hitting a 350-pound squat on that platform. I'm hitting 170 to 175 pounds on my bench. And I am going to deadlift 400 pounds. It's happening. And you might be like, Mare, why aren't you setting a higher goal for bench? Because last meet prep, Bench and I weren't BFFs like we were previously. Bench and I have to work on our relationship a little bit. I'm really looking forward to being able to do that meet. I love that powerlifting gives me the opportunity to travel. So I can go and do a powerlifting meet in Indiana just because I can, just because I want to, and I want to compete with my friends, and I want to have fun. I cannot stress this enough. Powerlifting meets are fun. They should be fun. You're there to spend time with your friends and also lift heavy fucking shit. And I had so much fun. I didn't have to think about a single thing. Megsy was my brain. Amethyst was my hype girl. She was keeping me cool, calm, and collected in the warm-up room. I competed after we got our awards and we were in the car. I was just like, oh shit, I did a powerlifting meet today. That's what I love about lifting. That's what I love about competing and having that time. I think it's really important who you surround yourself with. There are some maybe not so great people in the powerlifting space, but there's not so great people in any space, right? You find your people. Once I started being more authentically myself and showing up in these spaces authentically me, I found my people. And that's something I wanted to talk about today too. That's the beauty of having your own podcast. Am I right, ladies? I'm going to be speaking about the fitness, lifting, powerlifting space, but this can work for any space that you want to step into. Show up, be yourself, find your people. And I want you guys to remember that what you are seeing on social media isn't necessarily the truth. Let's expand on that. What you consume will consume you. Social media can be a great tool to help you, and it can be a great tool to harm you. In whatever niche that you're a part of, it's important to remember that outside of filters and Photoshop and good angles and XYZ, there are things about people that you're just not gonna know because they're not gonna tell you in a 30-second reel or a highlight carousel or a photo dump of whatever. For context, I want to put this in mind, okay? That bodybuilder that you follow and you idolize, who is peeled, shredded, a lean bean, they're showing you, oh, this is what I'm doing for my exercises, this is what I'm eating. But you know what they might not be showing you? The fact that they're taking steroids or other enhancing drugs. And that's a contributing factor into how they look. There are people out there who their only credentials are how their body looks on Instagram. And this is going to be my semi-annual reminder that just because someone has an aesthetically pleasing body doesn't mean that they are a qualified coach. It is so important to get information from people who have knowledge and who have been doing it for a while. If you want a little bit more insight on how to find a coach, I would reference back to season 1, episode 9, which is green and red flags for coaching. I think that's a very good episode, and I think it highlights the things that you can look for to find a good coach. That's something I wanted to put out there. These people that you may idolize, that you follow, that you like, that you reshare. That stuff, because of the algorithm, is going to continue showing up in your For You page, in your main feed that you're scrolling through. That's what you're going to be seeing. And that's just going to continue this cycle of comparing yourself to people who aren't being fully transparent with what they're doing and where they're at. Now, another thing that I want to point out, some people are genetically gifted, or I don't even want to say genetically gifted, because there might be some drawbacks with some of those aspects that we idolize. There are some people who might have a really high metabolism and they can't gain weight, and it's really difficult. And then down the road, as they get older, they're much more susceptible to breaking a hip or breaking some other type of bone because they fall and they have nothing on their bodies. There's pros and cons to every body type. I think that genetics are an important factor to look at for yourself and for the people that you follow. I'm a 5'5" girly. I'm never going to be 5'9". Looking at people who are 5'9" and being like, man, why can't I look like that? Because you're never going to look like that. There are some people who are not forthcoming with the type of plastic surgery that they have gotten. There is a person that I met and I was like, oh my God, your ass is amazing. Holy shit, girl. You got a donk. She was in the gym. She's working hard. Holy shit. I found out later that she had a BBL. And that was part of the reason why she had such a fat ass. Does that negate the work that she's put in? No. But if I'm looking at her and saying, why can she have big titties and a big ass and a thin waist and flat abs, but I can't? This is what I mean. What you consume will consume you. The stuff that you're taking in, what you're ingesting in social media, and just in general in your day-to-day, that's going to consume you. That's going to live rent-free in your brain. Be mindful of what you are consuming, because what you're consuming on social media might not be 100% reflective of the truth. And let's be real here. Comparison is the thief of joy. Focus on yourself, babes. Focus on what you're doing and focus on taking care of yourself and doing things from a place of love for yourself. And y'all, you might be like, oh my God, that's so granola. That's so like woo-woo. I don't care. I don't care if you think that's granola woo-woo. Fucking try it and get back to me. Because you know what? You might surprise yourself with treating yourself with a little bit of kindness. It does tend to go a long way. As a little teaser for the rest of the season, I have 4 interviews coming up, as well as a how-to for signing up for a meet. So look out for those in the rest of the season. Just thank you again. I really appreciate everything that y'all have been doing. Please continue to share the podcast, recommend it to your friends, download. That is the most important thing you can do to help me. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow, share, rate, and review. It helps the podcast grow and reach more people. Do you have any questions or suggestions? Email me at musclesandmalarkey@gmail.com or find me on Instagram @musclesandmalarkey. Yeehaw and yee-claw, everybody.